So I've been away for a few days. We've just got back. We went away for a wedding, so all with travel and whatever. We've been away for a few days. We had house sitters here, and when I left, I had 3 geese, but then some goose mouth has happened. Come on in, team. Chip, 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 chip. Alright, so you know these guys. They're a bit older than last time you saw them. Really starting to fill out and turn white, which is awesome. And then any day that's like this with the sun out, they're out here in the daytime and they only go back in overnight. But geese mouth. Yeah, I got 5 geese now. So back when I hatched the first goose, we did a batch of eggs in the incubator, only one of them hatched. So I ended up buying the 2 girls from someone local just because they came up, and I couldn't pass up that opportunity knowing that he was alone. But I had already started another set of eggs in the incubator. Now I wasn't feeling great about it, they didn't look great, but that just goes to show how good my egg handling skills are, because we came home to 2 new geese. So we left the house sitters, said, you know what, there are eggs in the incubator, but you won't have to do anything because they weren't due until the day we got back anyway. So I just said, you know, nothing to do with them. And then we get a video while we're at the wedding of goslings hatching. Now thankfully great house sitters, they've managed it no problem. You know, realistically the only thing to do in this scenario is to just leave them. We were coming home the next day, so they left them in the incubator, and we have just come back, and by the time we came back they were nicely dried off. We've moved them out under the heat lamp and everyone is doing okay. Now one of them doesn't look quite as great, but he's eaten. I think we've got a boy and a girl, so that takes us up to 2 boys and 3 girls. The boy is doing a little bit less well. I can't put my finger on what it is. He's eating and drinking. I think he's growing, but I'm just going to keep a special eye on him. We've done a slow introduction, so when I put the girls I bought in with the first one, I've called him Alan, by the way. So when the girls went in with Alan, he was 3 weeks old and they were brand new. He was fine with them, whereas these new ones, he's obviously that bit older now. He's six weeks old now. He's bullying the little ones a little bit. So we've got them separate in the same section, but just separated off. So they've got the heat lamp. These guys need far less of that now anyway. So yeah, I was planning to put the geese out soon with the weather changing, because you know I'm going to the youngest goose in terms of how much time outside and how much heat to give them. Now I've got some brand new 4-day-old geese here, so I don't know, maybe I'll put the older ones out and keep the younger ones in. Maybe I'll keep them all together. I haven't decided yet. We'll see how it goes. But on sunny days like this, I'm getting them out, and the little ones only for a little bit, you know, but just to get them used to grass. Seems like they had a lot of sun and a lot of rain while we were away, because it's just exploded out here. I've got people coming to stay today. Nigel's away, so I am going to be running around like a bit of a headless chicken trying to get everything sorted. I'll take you with me and try and show you what's going on, but apologies if it's a little all over the place. I just wanted to introduce you to my new geese. I'm done now. That's enough geese. Hi. Hey everybody. Hey buddy. Hey big mate. What do you think of the geese? Hey? You're not sure? The geese are definitely in charge of the dog already. Look at them go. Oh dear. Right, I'm just going to leave them out here for a little bit. I'll come get the little ones in. You know, I'll only give them sort of 10 minutes out here. It's quite nice, but there is a breeze. And then I'm going to crack on with all the things I need to get done today. Now, if you watched my last video, oh, they've seen me run. I love it when they run and follow me. Oh, hang on, they've got to tell the dog off first. We've left one behind. Bring him here then, Maxie. You're rubbish, shepherd. You're rubbish, sheepdog. Goose dog. Hey, team. You caught up. I don't know how I'm going to get anything done. I have no idea what I was saying. I've been entirely distracted by geese. Hi. Don't eat my hair. He still eats my hair. Hey, bud. I know, I need to put it up. I need to put it up. Oh yeah, I was talking about the polytunnel. If you watched my last video, we got the polytunnel up. Everything is good. I'm doing a bit of work, still trying to get it level in there because it's not very level. But I think what I'm going to do is level. I'm just going to work from this door down to the back, level it as I go, and start getting things planted because it's time. It really is time. We're sort of 9 degrees overnight now, which you know, I'm happy for tomatoes to be planted out in that, but I don't have the space ready right now, so I need to crack on. So I'm going to bring all of that, I'm going to bring all the tomatoes down now, and that frees up those cold frames by my house to start hardening off other bits and bobs that I've otherwise been babying, because I knew we weren't going to be here for a few days. I didn't know what the weather was going to be like, so I'm going to bring all the tomatoes down, then the cucumbers and the peppers can go up in the cold frames by the house for the next few days overnight, just to make sure that they're nice and hardened off, and then I'm just replanting up as quickly as I can get the beds ready in there. So let's crack on. All of these guys have been out in the cold frames overnight for like the last 2 weeks, so they are fully hardened off, and they're just waiting for a bed. Right, a few more tomatoes in here, some tomatillos. I don't like my zinnias and annual flowers and stuff, they're not going to stay in here. I'm just making this my new staging area, and then I can plant things straight out. It is so hot in here. I'm going to get the thermometer because I want to know just how hot it is. For this door open, and it's the 1st of May. Gonna need to open that door. I'm also going to need a deck chair in here, or 2, because one for my mother, one for me. Whew. Right, I think I need to do some heavy work in here, but maybe I'll leave that to a little bit later. It's supposed to cloud over, so it won't be quite so warm in here. But while it's warm, what I might do is get some beans and some sweet corn sowed, because I haven't done that yet, and it's May already. I cannot believe it. I start so organised when it's winter and I have nothing else to do other than get myself organised. And then just as gardening season kicks off, it's also the time when like everything else kicks off, you know, weddings and visitors and stuff like that. So I've already gotten distracted and I want to catch back up, so I'm going to go grab some seeds. The sun's gone in, so it's less ridiculously warm in here. I mean, it's still, I don't know, 25-ish, but much more workable. Now I just brought this in, which is one of the old pop-up greenhouse thingies, the one that bit the dust last year. The cover completely ripped and it's not in the best nick anymore. But I was still using it for staging outside, so I figured if it survived outside as staging, it will survive in here, because at least it's not going to get blown around or anything. So I've created myself a little corner workstation in here. If you look that way, you'll see I'm working on getting beds and stuff in, but I'm just taking a little break from that to get some seeds sown. So I don't know if I can actually bring you in here. So I've brought in, got a plan for irrigation. There is a water point that's just outside here. We're going to split it so that there's one tap going in to the goose field, which is going to be that one there, just the other side of this polytunnel, and then one line that's going to come in here for irrigation. But in the meantime, It's a good old-fashioned watering can. Ugh. So I've popped this potting bench out here because I got the big table in the shed, but this just fit in this gap nicely. So hopefully this will be useful enough as a potting bench, and then I've got the shelves here for me to have seedlings on. So I had a bit of a palaver with the watering can. I wasn't quite ready for it to be as heavy as it was this high, and I've flooded out this tray of lettuce seeds that I literally just sowed. So I'm going to put some more of those before I forget. Otherwise in here I've just brought this tray out. This has some beetroot, this is spinach, perpetual spinach, and then just some normal spinach, and this is some Swiss chard. So they are just coming up now, but I thought they might as well be out here because they were on this rack but completely outside anyway. So I'll get the lettuce sown, and then I'm going to go find some trays and some more compost, and we'll delve into this bag, which is all my beans and sweet corn, which I'm very excited to get started. I cannot believe it's May. I need to get going. Okay, I found myself a new tray, some tags. By tags I mean chop milk cartons and a marker pen. No, they don't last forever, and yes, they do fade in the sun. So for anything that I would want, so that anything I would want the label to last for months, you know, anything that's going to be in a pot for a good couple of months, this gets frustrating because they fade in the sun. But something like this, where I'm literally just trying to get them germinated inside, and then they're going to go straight out, nah, you know. I know a bean from a corn, sometimes it's just, you know, variety reminders. Now, if you were with me last year, you'll know that I struggled quite a lot with climbing beans and anything climbing because of wind. Now I have planted up some windbreaks this year, but they're not going to be established enough to do anything particularly helpful. So I am likely to experience the same problems again when it comes to wind and tall climbing plants outside. It doesn't mean to say I won't bother trying. I'll just try to be a lot more secure with the structures that they're going to be on, but also accept that you know, in these conditions, lots of coastal wind, smaller compactor plants close to the ground did much better. So my dwarf beans did great. You know, I let my pumpkins and squash sprawl across the floor, did great. Just got to work with the conditions. So I had, like, you know, nice ideas of wonderful big arch trellises, not to be in my situation, but that's okay. Sweet corn, the varieties that I've got here are Sundance. I've got 3 separate packs of Gold Crest. I don't know what, I think this one is from last year that never got opened, and then I've got 2 more packs. So I did about a 4x4 metre square block of sweet corn last year. Did really well, got a lovely harvest. I would love to do even more so I can put up more to last over the winter. So I think I'll take some bed space out there as well. Considering that a lot of stuff is going to come into the tunnel, that frees up a lot of space outside in the beds. So I think I'll do another block of corn. I also got these mini pop, you know, baby corns that I would love to give a go this year as well. So I don't have enough trays, but what do I want to get started sooner rather than later? Last year I did my sweet corn in sort of 2 waves. It wasn't intentional, it just kind of worked out that way, but it worked out quite well. It meant that the first lot we could just be eating all through the summer, and then the second lot mostly went into being preserved. So I quite like that. They all matured at the first lot, sort of ripened at slightly different times, you know, so it wasn't like suddenly loads of corn. It just meant that we could sort of work our way through it, and then I had the, you know, big harvest day for the ones to preserve. So I think I'll do the same again. So I'll start one of these trays, this one with the smaller cells for corn, because I'm literally just starting them, and then they're going to go out. So I'm going to get some of those Gold Crest in this tray today. Then I'll do another tray like this in I don't know, a week or 2, just to get that little bit of separation in time, and then they will all fill out that 4x4 metre block. And then what I might do is use the Sundance. I don't think I've ever done these before, but I think I'll do these separately, and they'll go on the other side of the garden, and trying to keep them separate because sweet corn does cross-pollinate. We'll see how that goes. Start off with this Gold Crest. Just want to get them in because sweet corn does take quite a long time. The beans I will just sow like a few rows every week from now until August, because they don't take anywhere near as long, especially the smaller dwarf plants. We had loads of successions of those last year and that went super well, so they don't need quite so long, and I'll just get, you know, as many in the season as I possibly can. Whereas the sweetcorn, I don't live in a hugely sunny place, so I really do want to crack on and give them as much chance as possible, you know, be ready to harvest before the dreary autumn kicks in. Alright, so that's a 4 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 24. That's not enough, even for the first round. But I want to get some beans done. So I'm going to put those in there for now. And do another tray of these before the day is up. I must not forget. Must not forget. I'm not going to wait long to plant these out once they germinate. I'm really just trying to stop the birds and the mice from eating the corn straight out of the ground, which is what would happen if I direct sowed. These are new for this year, so maybe I'll start with these. Big packet. Dwarf bean, the Prince. A popular old favourite, produces an abundance of flat-podded, pencil-thin, very long pods, perfect for exhibiting. Has a dwarf habit with large leaves, giving extra protection to the beans. Pods are stringless when picked young and will continue to produce more pods all growing season if harvested often. So indoors, April to May, approximately 15 degrees. Also outdoors from May to early July. So fabulous. Let's just go for it. So these will be for green beans. I do like to do a combination of both beans for fresh eating green beans and for podding beans that we both eat, you know, fresh as podded beans, but also dry up over winter. So I will be doing a variety of beans. I like beans, and I say beans a lot. Beans, beans, beans. And then I'll just smooth over the top. That's going to be loads of food really soon, which is awesome. Okay, let's get you a tag. Put in the D for dwarf, because last year I planted a load of dwarf beans at the base of a trellis, which was very disappointing. Oh, look at these. They're black. This is climbing French bean cobra. This pack is open, which implies that I've sowed these before, but I don't remember eating them, so this may have been part of the failed windy spot beans from last year. Oh well, I'll try harder this year. I might set up a bed literally just outside of this polytunnel and try to use the tunnel as a windbreak without actually, you know, having beans taking up space inside the tunnel. See how that goes. Alrighty. At least that's some of those sown. I need to do a load more, but priorities. Oh, I brought these out a minute ago. I don't remember if I showed you. I don't think I did. These squash honey boat, that's what I've written on it. Same with this one, they're coming up. And this is courgette. I've got another one that's courgette here, but it's not come up. Might need to re-sow that. Be careful with how many courgette seeds I sow, because I know that I don't need many plants. Last year I had 2 plants and one of them didn't do great. It got a bit crowded out and a bit squashed when one of the bean trellises went over, and it all got squished for a few days. So only one of them really did well, and we were still drowning in courgettes. So be careful. Careful with sowing too many courgettes. I'm going to try and give this a very delicate top water. Delicate, Sam, I think delicate. Whew, okay, it's all going on. In the pop-up greenhouse out there, I've still got my peas that are all up now, which need to go out. I need to build up a trellis for them outside. Oh, there's so much to do. I think what I'm going to do is try and bring as much of the stuff in that greenhouse out to here, because it's just so much less likely to go over in the wind out here. Hopefully. God, I don't even want to think about that. Well, now I'm thinking about that. What I can say is that 4 days away from home is enough. I'm so glad to be back and getting on with things here. And I am absolutely buzzing to show you whatever happens next. I don't know what that is yet, but it's all systems go. and I'm very grateful that anybody watches me do all of this stuff. So thank you, and we shall catch up soon.